Welcome to the deep dive. Look, today we're really going to cut through the noise, We're talking about car maintenance secrets that could genuinely save you maybe over $2,000 a year. Seriously.
Yeah, it's surprising how much money slips through the cracks, isn't it?
Right. And it's often not because mechanics are intentionally dishonest. Sometimes they just don't share the full picture.
Presley. And this deep dive, it's your shortcut to getting properly informed.
We've gathered some really practical stuff, drawing inspiration from places like the Car Guide YouTube channel, real-world insights.
And it's more than just simple tips. It's about equipping you with some critical thinking, challenging those assumptions that cost you money. Honestly, knowing this stuff, it changes how you look at maintaining your car. Even owning it turns pitfalls into, smart decisions.
Totally. We're going to hit everything from, overlooked fluids to finding parts without getting gouged.
All aimed at protecting your wallet and keeping your ride reliable for the long haul.
Okay, let's jump right in then. How about we start with something that seems small, but can totally destroy your AC system?
Yeah, the AC recharge trap.
Exactly. Your AC gets a bit warm, so you think, I'll just top off the refrigerant. Seems logical.
But here's the thing most people miss. When refrigerant leaks out, so does the special oil mixed with it.
And that oil is crucial, right? It lubricates the AC compressor.
It's absolutely vital. Run it low on oil, and that compressor, it's going to burn out. It's just a matter of time.
And that's not a cheap fix. We're talking, $1,000? Maybe more?
Easily. It's a slow motion failure happening right under your nose. The refrigerant carries the oil, so a leak means oil starvation.
So it's about finding the leak, not just masking the symptom.
That's the key. Address the root cause.
So what's the smart move here? How do you catch it early?
Well, luckily, a lot of newer cars actually have UV dye in the AC system from the factory.
Oh, right. So you can use a black light.
Yep. Shine it around the hoses, the condenser, the fittings. Leaks often glow. Or a technician can use an electronic refrigerant sniffer.
And catching it early might mean just replacing a cheap O-ring, like $5.
Exactly. Or maybe a $100 condenser if it's got a small hole. Way better than $1,000 for a new compressor.
Okay, good tip. And I heard running the AC periodically, even in winter, helps.
It does. It keeps the seals lubricated, stops them from drying out and cracking, which is, a super common leak source.
A little bit of prevention goes a long way. Saves cash, saves hassle.
It's a perfect illustration of how neglecting one small thing can cascade into a major expensive failure. And this isn't just limited to the AC.
No, I bet. What about brake fluid? That's one people definitely forget.
Oh yeah, the silent killer, some call it.
Why is that? It just sits there, right?
Well, it sits there absorbing moisture. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it loves water. Pulls it right out of the air.
Okay, and water in the brake lines is bad.
Very bad. Over time, maybe just 2 or 3 years, that water content gets high enough to start causing corrosion from the inside out.
Corrosion where?
Inside your ABS pump. That's easily a $1,200 part right there. Inside the brake calipers, causing them to seize up, even rotting the metal brake lines themselves.
Wow. That sounds like it could lead to, not being able to stop properly.
Exactly. Spongy pedal feel is one symptom, but complete failure is the nightmare scenario. It's a huge safety issue.
And the fix is simple, right? Really simple.
Incredibly simple. A proper brake fluid flush, get all the old wet stuff out, put fresh stuff in every 2, maybe 3 years.
How much does that cost?
Maybe $80 at a decent independent shop. Less than 20 if you like doing things yourself.
That's nothing compared to a new ABS module. It's like an oil change for your brakes, really. Essential.
You got it. Keeps the pedal firm, stopping reliable, protects the whole system.
Okay, sticking with fluids. Coolant. Antifreeze. It's not just about preventing freezing or overheating, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Fresh coolant has corrosion inhibitors, pH buffers, all sorts of important additives, but they break down over time.
And then what happens?
Then the coolant can actually become acidic. It turns into this slow-moving acid bath inside your engine and radiator.
Acid bath? That sounds terrible.
It is. It causes rust, internal corrosion. It can even lead to something called electrolysis, especially in heater cores, where stray electrical currents accelerate the corrosion.
And that can kill major components.
Oh yeah. Head gaskets, cylinder heads, repairs that can easily cost more than the car's actually worth.
Ouch. So ignore the super long factory interval, 100,000 miles.
For sure. Flush and replace it every 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
A gallon of the right coolant is maybe $20.
Right, using the correct type is critical. Mixing them can cause sludge, right?
Big time. Creates a nasty gel that clogs things up. Compare $20 for coolant to, say, $1,500 for a new heater core install. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, one more often forgotten fluid. Power steering fluid.
Yes, the truly neglected one. People ignore it until the steering gets stiff or noisy.
And by then, the damage might be done.
Often, yeah. That steering rack replacement. That's maybe an $800 job. Could be more.
What causes the failure? Just old fluid?
Pretty much. Over time, tiny metal particles from the pump and the rack wear off and circulate in the fluid. It becomes abrasive.
Like liquid sandpaper?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It grinds away at the seals inside the rack and pump, causing leaks, jerky steering, that weird morning stiffness where it's hard to turn the wheel when it's cold.
But fixing this one is surprisingly easy, isn't it? No complex flush needed.
Nope. Super simple. Get yourself a $5 turkey baster.
A turkey baster, seriously.
Seriously. Suck the old fluid out of the reservoir, just what's in there. Refill with the correct new fluid. Drive around it to circulate it.
And then repeat.
Yeah, do it maybe 2 or 3 times over a week. You're basically diluting the old dirty fluid with fresh stuff. Costs almost nothing, maybe 50,000 miles or once a year.
Keeps the pump happy, steering smooth, avoids that big repair bill. Another win for simple maintenance.
Absolutely. And all these fluid issues, they really point to a larger theme, don't they? This whole idea of lifetime components or fluids.
Yeah, that's a huge one. Who really benefits when they say lifetime fluid? Is it you, the owner?
Probably not in the long run. It often feels like lifetime means lasts until the warranty runs out.
Let's dive into that. The lifetime gear oil in differentials or transfer cases.
Right. That oil's under incredible pressure, lubricating hypoid gears. It definitely breaks down. The additives get used up. It collects metal shavings. Moisture gets in.
Leading to
whining noises from the diff, maybe issues with all-wheel drive clutch packs getting sticky or grabby. Eventually, component failure. Another $1,000 plus repair.
Especially if you tow or go off-road, I imagine that oil works even harder.
Way harder. But even for regular driving, it degrades.
So the solution is, don't believe the lifetime hype.
Pretty much. A simple drain and refill every, say, 30,000 to 50,000 miles is cheap insurance. Keeps everything happy inside that differential.
And this applies even more strongly to transmissions, right? Especially automatics and CVTs. That's the biggest lifetime myth.
Oh, absolutely. That's the one that really bites people. Sealed for life often means sealed until it dies, usually not long after 100,000 miles if the fluid's never touched.
And a new transmission is thousands?
$3,000, $4,000, $5,000 easy,
Yeah.
sometimes more. Heat and use break down that fluid. It loses its friction properties. Varnish builds up.
But manufacturers do have procedures to change it, even if they call it lifetime.
They do. If you dig into the actual service manuals, the procedure's usually there. They know it needs changing.
So changing it every 30K to 60K miles, depending on the car and how you drive?
It's probably the single best thing you can do to avoid a massive transmission repair bill. A couple $100 for a service versus thousands for a replacement. It's smart money.
Okay, switching gears slightly. For our diesel truck owners out there, there's a specific hidden danger with modern fuel.
Yeah, the ultra-low sulfur diesel, or ULSD. Great for emissions, not so great for fuel pump lubrication.
It's missing something the older diesel had.
Exactly, natural lubricity. And this is causing big problems with certain high-pressure fuel pumps, like the Bosch CP4 found in lots of trucks.
What kind of problems?
Catastrophic failure. The pump doesn't just quit. It basically grenades internally, sends metal shards all through the fuel lines, injectors, everything.
Oh man, that sounds like a complete system replacement.
It often is. We're talking $8,000, $10,000, even $12,000 in repairs. Just devastating.
But there's a cheap preventative measure. Something about two-stroke oil.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but adding a little bit of ashless two-stroke oil, emphasis on ashless, to your fuel tank can restore that missing lubricity.
How much are we talking?
About 1 pint for every 25 gallons of diesel. Costs maybe $1, $1.50 per tank.
And that actually works. There's proof.
There are independent lab tests showing significant wear reduction on pump components. It's a well-known trick among experienced diesel guys. Cheap insurance against an absolute nightmare repair. You know all this talk about fluids and prevention? It leads right into getting smart about parts and repairs themselves. How not to overpay.
Absolutely. Let's get into that, because here's where a lot of money gets wasted unnecessarily. Secret number 1. Getting OEM parts without paying dealer prices.
Right. People see genuine Honda part or whatever and think it's the only option for quality.
But the dealership often just puts a huge markup on it.
Exactly. That $120 oxygen sensor at the Honda dealer. It might be made by Denso, and you can buy the exact same Denso branded sensor online for $60.
So the trick is to find out who made the original part.
Yeah. Look closely at the old part when you take it off. Often the original manufacturer's name or logo is stamped right on it. Denso, Bosch, Aisin, Delphi, Vallejo, NTK.
And then search for that brand and part number online.
Bingo. Use sites like Rock Auto, CarParts.com, FCP, Euro, whatever. You can often save 50, 60 to even 80% on the identical part. Just stick to those known OEM supplier brands.
That's a huge potential saving right there. Okay, another way dealers often get you is by replacing whole assemblies when only a small part fails.
Oh yeah, that's classic. Your control arm bushing has worn out a $20 rubber part. The dealer quotes you $300 for a whole new control arm.
Because they don't want to bother pressing out the old bushing and pressing in a new one.
Right. It's faster for them to swap the whole unit. But a good independent mechanic, especially one with a press, can often just replace the bushing, saving you hundreds.
This applies to lots of things, right? Like window regulators.
Definitely. Sometimes it's just a little plastic clip or slider that breaks, costs $5, but the dealer sells you the whole $250 motor and regulator assembly.
Or maybe a tiny capacitor on an AC control module fails.
And they want $500 for a new module when a skilled tech could solder in a $1 capacitor if they knew how. It's about finding someone willing to diagnose and repair at the component level.
That's like old school mechanic work. Finding those shops is key.
It really is. It takes a bit more effort than just going to the dealer, but the savings can be substantial.
Okay, what about when something really big fails? Like an engine or transmission? That seems like a car killer.
It can be, if you only think about brand new or dealer rebuild options, which cost thousands. But there's another way, the junkyard. Or salvage yard, professionally speaking.
You can get whole engines from junkyards. Are they any good?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can often find perfectly good low mileage engines or transmissions pulled from wrecked cars for like $250 to $600, way less than a rebuild.
Wow. And other expensive parts too.
For sure. ECUs, engine computers, those can be super expensive new. AC compressors, alternator starters, wiring harnesses. A new harness from the dealer can be over $1,000 easily. You might get one in a junkyard for $50. Body panels, doors, bumpers, pennies on the dollar compared to new.
So for major repairs, hitting the salvage yard first could save you a fortune.
A massive fortune. It requires some legwork, maybe finding a mechanic willing to install used parts, but it can keep an older car on the road very affordably.
And speaking of mechanics, let's talk about skipping the dealership service department altogether.
That's often a smart move for out-of-warranty repairs. Dealer labor rates are high, right? $150 to $200 an hour isn't uncommon.
Plus, they push their expensive branded parts.
Right. Whereas a good independent shop might charge closer to $100 an hour. Many are run by ex-dealer master technicians who got tired of the corporate pressure.
So they have the same skills, maybe even more real-world experience.
Often, yes. They know the common failures, the shortcuts, the honest fixes. They aren't usually pressured by service managers to upsell unnecessary work to meet quotas.
And they're usually happy to install those OEM parts you bought online for half the price.
Most good independents are. It's about building a relationship with a trusted local mechanic. Saves money, gets you honest service. Connecting all this, it really shifts the power back to you, the owner. You move from just accepting repair quotes to actively managing your car's maintenance and costs.
Being an informed consumer. Okay, let's shift again into proactive prevention, stuff you can do before anything breaks. And sometimes the threats aren't even mechanical, like rodents.
Yes. Rodents chewing wires is a huge and growing problem.
Why is it getting worse?
A lot of modern cars use soy-based insulation on their wiring. Apparently it tastes good to mice, rats, squirrels.
You're kidding? Soy-based wiring?
Nope. Eco-friendly, maybe, but also rotor-friendly. They chew through harnesses, causing all sorts of electrical gremlins, or even completely disabling the car.
And fixing a chewed harness is expensive.
It can be incredibly expensive. $1,000, $4,000. I've even heard of the Tesla needing a $7,000 harness replacement. Insurance sometimes covers it, sometimes not. Big headache.
Okay, so how do you rodent-proof your ride?
Thankfully, prevention is cheap. Peppermint oil on cotton balls tucked around the engine bay. They hate the smell. Special capsaicin-infused tape from Honda works well. Some people use garlic sprays, ultrasonic devices.
Mothballs.
Yeah, mothballs under the hood can help. Also, keeping the parking area clean, no spilled food or pet food nearby. Maybe installing some stainless steel mesh over air intake openings. Cost you maybe $25 in total for peace of mind.
Worth it to avoid a potential multi-$1,000 repair. Okay, another big environmental threat, especially up north. Rust.
The salt belt nightmare. Road salt in winter just eats cars alive.
It gets into everything. Frames, body panels, brake lines.
Fuel lines, floor pans. It can turn a perfectly good running car into an unsafe rust bucket that fails inspection and has to be junked.
But there's something you can do besides washing it constantly.
Yes, annual oil-based rust proofing. There are commercial products like Fluid Film, Crown, NH Oil undercoating, or you can even mix your own concoctions.
And you just spray it underneath.
Basically, yeah. You spray it everywhere, underneath frame rails, suspension components, inside body panels if you can. It creeps into seams, displaces moisture, and creates a barrier against salt.
Does it really make a difference?
Huge difference. People who do it consistently report getting an extra 3, 5, even 10 years out of their cars in salty environments. One guy on CarCox swore he got 14 years of solid life in New England thanks to it. It works.
Okay, good advice for snowy climates. What about for EV owners? Heat is the enemy there, right?
Heat is the absolute worst enemy of an EV battery. It causes degradation, loss of capacity, reduces the lifespan.
Like those early Nissan Leafs.
Exactly. Some of those, without active battery cooling, lost 20% or more of their range in just a few years in hot places like Arizona. That tanks the car's value and usefulness.
So how do you keep the battery cool?
Be smart about thermal management. If your car has it, use the preconditioning feature while it's still plugged in, cools the battery and cabin using wall power, not battery power.
Park in the shade.
Definitely. Park in shade or a garage whenever possible. Avoid letting it sit baking in the sun for hours. And don't always charge to 100%.
Oh, why not?
Charging to 100% and leaving it there, especially in heat, stresses the battery chemistry. For daily driving, charging to 80% or 90% is much healthier for long-term battery life. Same goes for pre-warming in the winter if your car supports it.
So managing temperature is key to preserving that very expensive battery.
Absolutely critical for maximizing its lifespan and maintaining your car's range and value.
All right, let's talk about fixing your car's known weak spots before they fail. Every car has them, right?
Pretty much every model has some known issues, some Achilles heel, a plastic part that should have been metal, a sensor that fails predictably, a timing chain tensioner prone to rattling.
How do you find out what your car's weaknesses are?
Online forums dedicated to your specific make and model are invaluable. Search for common problems. Also, look up technical service bulletins, or TSBs, for your car. Manufacturers issue these to dealers about known issues and fixes.
So find the weak link and replace it proactively.
It's exactly. Maybe it's a known issue with Subaru head gaskets under certain conditions, or VW flywheel failures, or Jeep sensors acting up. Spending $100 or $200 now on an upgraded part or preventative fix can save you from a $5,000 engine repair or being stranded on the side of the road later.
That's about staying ahead of the curve, being on your schedule, not the car's breakdown schedule.
Precisely. It's how people reliably get 200,000 or 250,000 miles out of their cars without major drama.
Okay, another specific issue for many modern engines. Carbon buildup, especially with direct injection.
Yeah, GDI gasoline direct injection engines are great for power and fuel economy, but they have this inherent issue with carbon buildup on the intake valves.
Why does that happen?
Because the fuel is injected directly into the cylinder, it never washes over the back of the intake valves like in older port-injected engines. So oily vapor from the crankcase ventilation system hits those hot valves and bakes on.
Creating carbon deposits that choke airflow.
Exactly. Leads to rough idle, loss of power, misfires. Can start happening as early as 40,000 miles. The fix is usually a walnut blasting service, where they blast crushed walnut shells to clean the valves. Cost maybe $700.
Ouch. But there's a preventative add-on, a catch can.
Yep, an oil catch can. It's a simple device you plumb into the crankcase ventilation hose. It traps those oily vapors and moisture before they can get into the intake manifold and onto the valves.
Does it catch much?
You'd be surprised. You have to empty it periodically, and you'll see the nasty gunk it keeps out of your engine. Costs maybe $100 and $150. Pretty easy to install usually. Keeps valves cleaner, maintains performance, avoids that expensive cleaning service.
Seems like a smart mod for any GDI engine owner. Okay, how about something simple but impactful? Wheel alignment.
Hugely important, and often overlooked until tires are wearing unevenly.
How much does misalignment affect tires?
A lot more than people think. Even being slightly out, like just an eighth of an inch toe misalignment's like dragging your tires sideways for almost 30 feet every mile you drive.
30 feet per mile? Wow, no wonder tires wear out fast.
Exactly. You can scrub thousands of miles off a set of tires, costing you $600, $800 prematurely. Plus, bad alignment hurts fuel economy and puts extra strain on suspension components.
So get an alignment how often?
Once a year is a good rule of thumb, or definitely after hitting a major pothole, curb, or having any suspension work done. Costs maybe $80, $100 for a four-wheel alignment.
And make sure they check the rear too.
Crucial. Always get a four-wheel alignment if your car allows adjustments back there. It easily pays for itself in extended tire life alone.
Okay, check engine light. Scary light. What's the secret there?
The secret is, don't panic. It's often not a death sentence for your car.
Could be something simple.
Very often. The most common cause is actually a loose or faulty gas cap. Seriously.
And the dealer charges $120 just to read the code.
Yep. Diagnostic fees can be steep, and then they might try to upsell you based on the code.
So what's the alternative?
Most auto parts stores, like AutoZone or O'Reilly, will scan the code for free. Just walk in and ask.
And once you have the code, like P0456.
Google it. Search P0456 Honda Accord or whatever your car is. You'll instantly find forums and articles discussing common causes and fixes for that specific code on your car. Or, even better, buy your own cheap OBD2 scanner.
How much are those?
Basic code readers are like $20. Bluetooth ones that link to your phone with an app are maybe $20, $40. You can read and clear codes yourself, look up meanings. It demystifies the check engine light completely.
Empowers you to know what's going on before you even talk to a mechanic. Love it. Okay, another potential money saver. Hidden warranties.
Yes, secret warranties or goodwill adjustments or service campaigns. Automakers sometimes quietly agree to cover known, common defects even after the standard warranty expires.
But they don't advertise it.
Definitely not. You usually have to know about it and ask specifically. They won't volunteer it.
So how do you find out?
Again, research is key. If you have a specific problem, search online forums for others with the same issue. Look for mentions of TSBs, technical service bulletins, related to it. Sometimes a TSB outlines an extended coverage policy.
Like Toyota did for engine sludge years ago, or GM for some steering racks.
Exactly. Nissan had like 48 different secret warranties on one model year Altima once. Bring the TSB number to the dealer, calmly explain you know about the campaign, and ask if your vehicle qualifies based on VIN and mileage.
And that could save you big bucks.
Potentially thousands. A $1,500 repair could be knocked down to zero if it falls under one of these quiet programs. You just have to do your homework and ask the right questions.
All right, one last big one. Wheels and tires. People love big wheels, but they cost more, right?
They look flashy, those 19, 20, even 22-inch wheels. But yeah, the cost adds up fast.
How much more are the tires?
Significantly more. A replacement 20-inch tire might be $240, while the equivalent 17-inch tire for the same car might be $140. That's $100 per tire.
So $400 difference for a set.
Yep. Over the life of the car, replacing tires maybe 3 times. That's $1,200 saved just by having smaller wheels. Plus, those big wheels with rubber band thin tires.
Prone to bending on potholes.
Constantly. Bent rims, cracked wheels. Very expensive to fix or replace. The small wheel with a taller sidewall tire gives you more cushion, a smoother ride, better pothole protection, and often the tires last longer too.
So if your car came with big wheels, could you downsize?
Often, yes. Check if lower trims of your model came with smaller wheels, like 17s or 18s. Make sure they clear your brake calipers. You can often find a used set of OEM smaller wheels for cheap, maybe $300, $400. Sell your big ones, and you might even make money while setting yourself up for cheaper tires and fewer headaches. You know, this isn't about being paranoid about your car. It's really about strategy.
Yeah, taking control.
Exactly, taking control of the longevity, the running costs, your finances, rather than just waiting for something bad to happen and reacting to it.
So let's wrap this up. What's the big takeaway here?
Well, hopefully this deep dive has armed you with some serious knowledge. Insights that can genuinely save you thousands, help your car last way longer, and just let you drive with more confidence. It's about tuning maintenance from, a chore or an unexpected hit to the wallet into a smart, proactive investment.
Absolutely. And think about this. When you understand your car's potential weak spots, its vulnerabilities, and you know how to proactively address them, that car becomes much more valuable to you. You trust it more, you keep it longer. So here's a final thought to chew on. What other lifetime claims or maybe overlooked assumptions exist in other areas of your life? Where else might quiet costs be piling up or opportunities be missed just because you haven't applied this kind of proactive research and healthy skepticism?
That's a great challenge, something to definitely think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Go out there, use these secrets, and enjoy smarter, more confident car ownership.